Today we will take a look at the best VR headset 2021. If you want to find more information, check out links down below. 1. Valve Index. There's little doubt that the Valve Index is the next generation VR headset people have been clamoring for. It has an ultra-crisp display that runs fairly well even with older GPUs. That's why, at least right now, it's our best VR headset for 2021 and our best VR headset for PC owners. It's easy to write off the Valve Index as another nondescript VR headset in the same vein as any Oculus Rift or HTC Vive headset, but the devil's all in the detail here. On the front, there's a glossy plastic faceplate above two front-facing cameras that can be used for pass-through video and, potentially, AR applications. Go to put the headset on and you'll feel the stone grey pads that line the inside. It's a similar halo design to what Oculus is doing on the Rift S, and it feels both comfortable and snug. While all these features would seem to require extra horsepower under the hood of your PC, they actually worked fine with our much older NVIDIA GTX 980 GPU. That's a boon for folks who don't have the money to upgrade their GPU after buying a $1,000 VR headset, and it could allow for more people to get into VR. That last bit is important, because as more people adopt VR, more developers will see a business case for making VR games. Right now, Steam's VR selection is a bit bare compared to the ever-expanding main store, and even the top titles selected by Valve to show off the new hardware are really just a lot of old titles that play better with the knuckle controller. Not only do the games look great on the high-resolution screen, and play without any hitches even on our less-than-ideal hardware, but they feel more interactive with the Index controller. Being able to release items by opening your hand, a completely natural experience here in the real world, feels unnatural at first after using regular VR controllers for the last 2 years, but once you adapt to it, it once again becomes second nature. The Valve Index might be one of the best VR headsets currently on the market, but it's brought some of VR's most annoying aspects along for the ride. Setting it up can be time-consuming and irritating, updates can cause connection issues, and you may find a new error the next time you go to use it. However, if you can look past those issues, this is a really good VR headset. Its higher resolution screen and better refresh rate allowed us to use it for longer periods of time without discomfort compared to most other VR headsets, and the Index controllers are a real step up from the ones that ship with the Vive. 2. Oculus Quest 2. If you're looking for a VR headset that doesn't need to be wired up to an expensive PC and offers a lot of movement and freedom, then the Quest 2 is the best VR headset for you. For the majority of people, this is the best VR headset on the list for a whole range of reasons. It's a significant improvement over the original Quest, with a more responsive experience thanks to improved RAM and chip specs, and a higher resolution display that's 50% sharper than its predecessor. The Oculus Quest 2 is our top pick for the best VR headset that's wire-free and standalone. The original Oculus Quest is still a great choice if you're looking for an untethered VR headset that doesn't need an expensive computer to power it. The Quest 2 might bring a significant upgrade, but the original still boasts an OLED display panel with 1440x1600 per eye resolution, and is powered by a Snapdragon 835 processor. The Oculus Quest 2 is worn on the head, quite a bit like a scuba mask. Where a scuba mask's window would be, you've instead got a padded cavity that houses a pair of goggle-like lenses that sit in front of a screen, giving you stereoscopic 3D visuals. Paired with motion sensors and accelerometers in the headset, you can move your head and see the motions reflected in real time on the digital screen in front of you, as if you were looking out and moving around in the real world. The internal improvements between the Quest 2 and the original Quest headset are significant. Compared to the original Quest, the Quest 2 offers 6 GB of RAM compared to 4 GB, and there's a much faster Qualcomm Snapdragon XR2 chipset running the show. This allows for greater fidelity in experiences shown on the Quest 2, as well as allowing for boosted resolutions and refresh rates. Using the headset's external cameras, you'll be shown a grayscale view of your surrounding environment on screen, in real time. You'll then use the controllers like a spray paint can, painting around the edges of your room to show the headset the safe play space you can freely walk about in without bumping into. PlayStation VR. PlayStation VR is an affordable introduction to quality VR. Many of the experiences aren't as crisp as the ones found on the Oculus Rift or HTC Vive. But, for a system that uses a PS4 instead of an expensive PC gaming rig, we're not complaining. Plus, a recent price reduction makes it even more appealing. For now at least, the PlayStation VR is truly different to anything else on the market. While Oculus Rift has closed in on the cost disparity, the PSVR only requires a PS4 console to run, not an expensive PC setup. Although we've already mentioned the Oculus Go as a rival, it doesn't offer the immersive gaming quality the PSVR does. So although it's a good way into VR for lots of people, it doesn't quick match up. As a result, the best PlayStation VR games list is being constantly updated with excellent fresh experiences, with plenty more arriving all the time. From shooters to puzzlers, platformers to narrative adventures, there's variety and depth to PSVR's growing gaming catalog. 4. Oculus Rift S. The Oculus Rift S is certainly a more approachable entry point into PC-based VR. But its concessions for accessibility haven't improved the overall experience of entering into virtual worlds. PlayStation VR was launched in 2016 and is now the best-selling high-end VR headset ever. It's not surprising, given how tempting a purchase it is if you already have a PS4. Why shell out for a high-performing, room-tracking, PC-tethered headset from Oculus or HTC? Have you used or seen a PlayStation VR headset? Then you'll have a good idea of how Rift S is worn compared to its predecessor. Whereas the Rift and the Quest used a thin rubbery strap that went over your crown tightened here by a Velcro strap, and around the back of your head to 2 firmer points over your ears, the Rift S adds a plastic curved mold liberally padded with cushioning where your forehead and base of the skull are. There's still a Velcro strap for positioning the headset, but it's now primarily tightened by a dial on the back headrest. It's comfortable enough. Like all VR headsets, it doesn't fully mitigate the fact you've got a weight hanging off your face. The Rift S is no different, and it in fact feels heavier than the original Rift in terms of its frontal weight distribution. Oculus Rift S is incredibly complex in many key respects. It betters the original Oculus Rift. It's easier to set up, potentially more comfortable to wear, has a much more robust games library than it did at launch, and an improved resolution.